Alrighty, and here is the video review for Transformers Go Samurai Team JINBU. This is the jet here, which is pretty cool. And so yeah, he's the jet. He's a little light, not a great jet, but not a bad jet. This is him with again his Kabuto attached. You don't have to have that. You can pop that off right here. And there he is, just in his jet mode. You can I think these are supposed to be flipped out in vehicle mode when his Kabuto's not attached. He does have his long sword attached up here, and that kind of attaches to the combination clip. The instructions are very vague, or at least very tiny. And there's, you can see there's a couple little grooves here in these. Because I was trying to wrap it around like these pegs. And there's a couple grooves in the pegs, and basically what you want to do is make sure this little scope thingy's on top. And you want to get the clip in those, just those little grooves right there. You don't want to try to wrap it around the peg, that it's just too thick. But again, the instructions aren't super clear on that. So there you go. And there's this sword again, soft rubbery material, especially the handle, which is annoying because this little peg has to peg into the handle of the other thing, and it's a little loose, little like wobbly. Here's his jet. He's very light, and you'll notice a lot of these guys don't weigh that much. They almost feel like Transformers Prime, the Beast Hunters Prime, right out of package because they're light. And it doesn't mean they're not sturdy, they're just light. And it seems a little off-putting at first, and then you start combining them and you realize that's exactly what they needed to do, because combined mode's very heavy, and if they were much heavier than they are individually, like, he would be very hard to pose and stand. So I totally get it. There's also a issue where, like, these thigh pieces are swapped, and you have to fix them right off the bat. Well, you don't have to. It doesn't severely limit the posability if you don't swap them. You can leave them alone. Apparently they're going to be offering replacement parts if you so choose. But it really isn't too hard. You just got to unscrew these halves, and then unscrew these two halves and swap them. And that's all there is to it. There is a friction spring in here, so it's a little bit of a pain. But if you're semi-competent and you have a screwdriver, you can fix it. It's really not that hard. So anyway, there's his jet mode. We'll go ahead and transform into robot mode, in which we're going to want to leave that out for this. Leave the landing gear out. So basically, you untab these pieces back here and bring them down and around like this. When you get them down here, just bring them down like this, in relation to the jet here, and then bring this whole cockpit piece down into here, and then the sides of the landing gear plug into the thighs to kind of complete the lower torso. A minor issue here, we'll talk about that, like aesthetic issue here. Bring the foot down like this. There's his robot mode foot. Flip this up, and then flip this over. To make his combined mode foot. Or rotate his, no, here we go. There we go. Bring it, rotate the leg around, flip the fins in, bring this up, and bring the foot out to make his robot mode foot. Do you see any of that? And then you do rotate this piece. You don't rotate this piece around yet. You want to leave that forward to form his knees. Hollow feet a little bit here. Again, a minor issue. And then flip the fist back to make his heels, and he should stand just fine after that. So come back here. So there's the fist. There's the feet. Unhook the arms. Bring them down like this. Bring the wings down, and then just flip his head up and turn it around. And there he is in robot mode. He's tall, he's lanky. It doesn't look bad from this angle. If you look at him kind of from the back, it looks like there's just a head and then all legs. This crossbar kind of helps by holding these together. I feel like maybe if these upper parts of the legs had been painted yellow to match the rest of the body, it might not look quite so out of place, because that's all you're going to notice after you notice it. From the front, initial look, it doesn't look super bad. But once you've had it pointed out to you, you can see that the legs come all the way up to here. Even though technically his legs start down here, below the torso is where his robot legs are supposed to start, because these are all connected and supposed to be part of the main robot body. And like I said, I think if they molded those in yellow, it might have helped with that illusion as well. He comes with his giant sword, which he can hold in his hand, as well as his Kabuto here, which is designed to look, you can kind of see it looks like a laser pistol. The way he holds it, though, the laser pistol is on the bottom, but it does kind of look to have a barrel there on it. So it's at least semi-weaponized. You can store it, again, you can store it on the back, although, again, it's big, it's bulky, it's going to look really out of place just hanging off on the back there. But you can store it there if you so choose, and he's fully capable of supporting himself with that pegged on back there. Now these angled pieces right here, you can actually, if you want to store his sword across his back, this little gap right here, it's on either side of the sword actually, you can have his sword slung across his back like that, which I think is kind of cool. His weapon, his Micron weapon is a clear yellow repaint of smoke screens. So if you're keeping track, now we have these two guys. Same mold, same everything as smoke screens, Micron. But what I have noticed, like with the clear plastic, the stress marks are very obvious. I haven't had any breakage. I haven't had anything look like it's about to break or feel like it's going to break. But you do tend to just get a few stress marks just from popping them together, just because of the nature of them, and the clear plastic just kind of exacerbates that. But yeah, so now you've got him as well. He can form his crossbow, and again, just like the others, he can be held by JINBU here. He can use that as a weapon as well. A little tight on the fist there, but you can see you can hold it. Personally, I like using these guys as the weapons anyway, because I like having little transforming dudes. So yeah. And so to combine him, now we'll go ahead and pop this out of his hand, pop a sword off here. Papa Umau Mau, Papa Umau Mau. Anyway, go ahead here. Go ahead and flip out his Kabuto here, which is going to form his head and chest plate in combined form. And to get to that, we're basically going to come back here. We're going to take his head, just flip his head back down like this. And then we're going to bring his arms up like this. Because you bring this up. Oh, alright, unpeg this from the legs, fold the landing gear up, bring this up like this. And then you bring these down. There's a couple slots right here on the front of the cockpit. You peg these in like this. His robot mode arms come up like this, peg in, and just kind of sit there on the side of his head. Like that. And then these we just bring around to make the arms. So bring them forward, flip them down and around. His fists are already out. So, yeah, pretty simple. There he is right there. There's his combiner mode. Again, the smallest of all of them, but it looks really cool. He's got the longest Kabuto. So then we bring in the rest of the guys, which again I've already transformed into combined mode here. Just for the sake of timeliness. We'll start the combination music. Hopefully this will all play together properly. Alright, we'll snap him onto the top of Geno here. He's got a couple tabs here that peg into the top of Geno. Ah, see, I think I just undid the... Yep, see, I just undid Transform. Nope, and that, see now. Alright. And then to connect to this, you actually have to slide it up over the cockpit, and then it sits down over his head. Just like that. And then you plug it in here. When you plug it in here, it should make the combined mode noise for him. Although, again, we've just unhooked the transform button. No. Go JINBU. He makes an explosion noise. Push the button again. Alright, so good. We got the combined noises there. That's really hard to do because, like I said, it's really easy to knock that, especially since he's upside down in this configuration, and the backpack hinges down towards his back, in robot mode. Flipping it over, it wants to keep coming loose, and it doesn't peg into the bottom of anything back there. But there are his combined mode noises. And here's a quick wide shot of combined mode. I think the legs down here look a little better if you flip those front car pieces. Here, let me flip this in. All the way in against his legs like this, because a lot of earlier shots had him out like that, and that just looked silly. He's still got skinny legs, but that kind of helps with that image a little bit better. The weapon is the same. It's the same. Combine this whole thing into the long spear. You can see there's a little bit of damage around this hilt, and that's what I'm going to get to here in just a second. Because the way his fists are molded here, on his on this bot mode, the way the thumbs came in, they had a standard peg hole, and then the thumb came in and clipped off a corner of it. So instead of being a circle, it looked kind of like almost like a Pac-Man. Not super bad, like the finger just came in a little bit, but instead of being a true circle, there was just a little bit of the thumb that came down and covered up part of that hole, which I didn't catch the first time. So the first time I pushed this in there, you can see how it kind of mushed it. It's slightly, I managed to make it round again, at least on the inside to plug it together, but it kind of mushed the handle a little bit. So I actually took a screwdriver that was the same diameter as the hole, and I just kind of twisted it down in there until it wore away that plastic. But it is something to be concerned about. I don't know if it's on everything, but I haven't heard any other people complaining about it, but it was a very definite issue on mine, which is now fixed. Again, I think to combine the weapon, I think the best way to have him do it in combine mode is to slide this one through first, up here. So then you can combine, instead of trying to combine this peg into this hole in the middle of the fist, you can do it out here where you can see what's going on, and then push that back down in there. It makes it way easier, especially on his fist, because his fists are closed all the way through. With Kenzan, it's a little easier because he's got those open hands, but with him, it's a closed fist, so you can't see, and you could end up really bending that the connector piece really badly up in there. And again, the combined Kabutos here, these two tabs right here on Geno's plug into Kenzan's here, right, just like that. Probably looks the most like a big giant gun, just with the laser. You can kind of see the guns here of all of them, but still, I mean, it's a big bulky. I mean, like I said, because of that thumb, you kind of, even now, you still have to squeeze it in there. You can see he's getting a little top heavy. Again, that's easily fixed by just clicking a couple joints the other way. There we go. And there he is combined with all of his weapons. I mean, it's a neat looking mode. Not bad, really cool. I love the look of the head and chest of this mode. The legs, again, some problems I had with the legs. You saw this mode is already just the way he's built is a little bit top heavier than some of the other ones. And he's got these tiny little feet because they're basically his robot mode feet. And I understand why they had to have the bigger piece in the back because of the back heaviness to support him. You see like his Kenzan's giant combined mode hands are at the back of the heels here. I tried rotating this leg around and moving the foot forward so this peg that works in robot mode could peg in back here and maybe make this ankle a little bit more solid. But when you do that, you end up lining up this joint with all the others, and this joint right here is for robot mode. This joint right here is not designed or intended to really support the combined robot mode. So if you end up turning this lower leg like this, he gets really back heavy. And likes to fall a lot because this joint right here, while it does ratchet, is not strong enough to support the whole combined weight. So you really need to leave it like this. And in this mode, it's not super loose on the ankle, but like I said, just being able to tab that in here, just one more point of structural integrity would have been nice. But in order to do that, you either have to have him standing with his feet out to the side, which looks ridiculous, or you bring it around so where a lot of the weight is resting on this joint right here, and it's just too much for the combined mode to handle. So a minor drawback, but there it is. And there you go. There's JINBU combined in Go JINBU mode.